today we're back in the Growth of Giggles RP, and yes, as you probably well know, Season 2, Episode 1 has come out. It is released, and right now I am in the RP game because they've actually added a few new things which I want to check through, which includes actually a morph, which I think you guys might have seen, but if you haven't, we're going to check it out and see what it's like compared to the original version of the Grumble. Now, from this point, let's go over to the first episode. So there's a few key things we need to discuss. So I'm going to start straight away by saying, if you haven't seen this episode yet, please go and watch it. I got the link in the description below, but you clearly have if you've come to this point in time on this video. So nothing here should hopefully ruin any of it for you. Now that's out the way, the way I want to start here is where you got Curious Light getting information from Guiding Light. From what we can see, kind of looks like a therapy session, but it's probably not. It's just more kind of a gathering place just to get some information and see what's actually happening, because by now, quite a lot has happened. Seek has been on a bit of a destruction streak. But one thing I have noticed while I've been chit-chatting, and that is Guiding Light is actually a girl.
I'll investigate outside.
But also around this point, you will see that in a screenshot we used previously, there was a little snippet of some text on the wall that was behind Guiding Light. And now, here is a clear shot of what it says. So obviously, we know L Splash is like the developer of the game. That's quite obvious. And I was hoping there was a little bit more to it. But honestly, maybe Mischievous, Guiding, and Curious Light don't actually know who L Splash is. I'm just saying, because this is an area that only they can get to. One thing I've noticed that when these two are chatting, an explosion happens. Now, I've got a feeling it's the explosion we potentially see the aftermath for in the trailer. So we don't actually see it happening, nor do we see Party Grumble kind of collapse within the structure itself, but also Seek just kind of fading away into the distance. Like, none of that is actually in the episode, which is a bit of a shame because I was really interested to see how Party Grumble got out of that situation. But since this has now happened, you will see that they're going to start looking at the systems to see how the game is working at this point in time. And at some point, there's a lot of errors on the screen. And one of them at some point says Seek's weapon causes problems and it's linking on a different screen to Queen Grumble 1. We know the very first one that got infected and potentially became Scrumble, right? And you'll see later on that Scrumble still hates Seek with a passion and beats him up every opportunity. Now back to here, when Guiding Light leaves, you can see that they leave from the cutscene area we saw in the RP game when you unlock Curious Light. So showing you this without revealing too much, you will see that if we get into this little orb, you've got all of these different doors which lead to probably many different places. Now, one thing we notice is this door here, the one with the yellow aura, is the one we come in or from on the game itself when we unlock the character of Curious Light. Now, from the cutscene, it looks like it's from a door up here, maybe even higher. So we see Curious Light coming through this door here and flying down to this one to head back into the main map to find Grumble and Seek going crazy. Which, when it snaps back, you will see that Seek gets through this tunnel running away, which you will see was also a snapshot that we had as a leak, where you had this force field which had that Guiding Light's imprint of the moon on it, which looks like some kind of force field or force wall to prevent Seek getting any further. But clearly, he just slides underneath it like it was nothing. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then he goes to reach what looks to be a lever, but obviously does not make it. I mean, what would happen if he actually reached that lever? Would that cause like a reset? Would it wipe out the Grumbles? Is it another detonator for a bomb or something? I don't know. I mean, let me know your ideas in the comments below. But going back to the first scene, we see obviously Guiding Light and Curious Light chatting together and just updating with what's happening in this system. Basically how the game is running. They're almost like admins to make sure the game runs smoothly. Now, I've noticed that these two kind of work together quite a lot. And maybe Mischievous Light also was there helping the other two and didn't like the way things were being run and eventually went rogue, which is why we see him causing so much mayhem for the Grumbles. And then just at this point, there's just something so silly, but I swear this noise is from SpongeBob. If it isn't, it's so close, but it's so funny. So this leads us over to the chase scene, which was epic. This whole chase scene was so well thought out, and obviously as it's going through so fast and actually understands how to get to the hotel, because let's be honest, there's multiple choice to get through, and he just smashes through them without one incorrect choice. Now, as he's going through this oh so fast. You do see a little snippet which made me lol so hard, which is where he basically yeets Figure out of existence. Like, it's crazy how quick Figure was just there, and then he got yeeted away and nothing is gone. So after he's yeeted Figure out of the way, you see he keeps pummeling through all of these different corridors, and there's lots of different kind of players you see. Now, I don't know if any of them are meant to be referenced to actually probably well-known players of the game or not, but I've got some screenshots I'm going to put through the screen now of what I could find, at least while it's going through so fast. And then, guys, let me know in the comments below if you recognize any of them, or if they're just actually just randos. If they're randoms, then yeah, that's actually pretty cool that they got to be in the video. I'll be honest. So as we go further into the video, this is near the end where you see Party Grumble has managed to find the elevator and is launching himself up it. You get to the point where Seek is kind of catching up, and so Party Grumble lobs his party hat at him, which causes Seek to kind of fall back and become a bit stagnant. Obviously, he doesn't bother chasing him anymore. He just stops. Now, when Seek is hit with his hat, you soon after see like a blue pulse on the screen, which makes Party Grumble's eye go back to normal. Now, when we see this, literally very soon after, Guiding Light appears. Now, bear with me while I say this, but do you think Guiding Light actually controls Party Grumble when he's in need of help? Like, think about it. At this point, we've now found that Seek is controlled by Mischievous Light, and Party Grumble has actually got the Moon Crescent, which we know is related to Guiding Light. So, is it the case that Guiding Light is actually helping Party Grumble, which is why he doesn't become fully infected? I mean, looking at him now, yeah, he looks a bit sorry for himself, and he's quite infected at this point. But honestly, I think Guiding Light might actually be helping Party Grumble. Something that's actually quite interesting, which we find right at the end here by Mischievous Light, and that is he has been controlling Seek the whole time. And not only that, but he also gave Seek the additional arms, which I think was to give him a much better fighting chance against the Grumbles. Because let's be honest, 4 or 5 arms is much better than 2 and gives you a much better opportunity to fight people off. Now, with that being said, this is actually all really interesting. If you have any theories yourself, please put them in the comments below. But right now, we're going to head back into the game. So as we're here swimming clearly in the water, we're back in the main nest where we got someone as Jeff selling all his goods. And if we head to the menu, you will see right here, we have got the Party Grumble Season 2. The one we've seen in the episode literally a second ago. And it looks like the server's being restarted. To be fair, Unsurpriso is in this with us, as you can see just here. Literally, Unsurpriso has joined us, and I think they've just upped the number for the server from 15 people to 25, which means we can have a lot more people in the game now, which is really, really cool and such a brilliant idea. So now we have managed to make it to the new version of the Party Grumble, the one we see in Season 2. You can see what I'm on about here, because you have got, if I just move over this direction, the moon on the, like, forehead, I guess you could call it. I mean, that's what I'm calling it. Well, I believe it's a link to Guiding Light, which you can see someone has just become in front of me right now, which is good old Smart Bacon. And then right next to me, you have got the normal Party Grumble, which I believe is probably Hugo at this point, because he's in the game with us as well. And so it's pretty cool to see not only the differences, where we've noticed in the actual film or the animation that this side of his face, including his eyes, are not working. They're effectively blind or like forced closed. And where this one works fine, and it only goes blue when I believe Guiding Light is controlling him. And it's a shame we haven't got the ability to kind of replicate that. I thought there'd be a new move which would allow us to make the eyes glow blue. But maybe that will be released in the next few days. I mean, I assume when Unsurpriso sees this and maybe looks at this and goes, actually, that's a valid point. We can make the eyes glow blue because that's what happened in the episode 1. I think that's valid. And I agree. If that is the case, that'd be pretty awesome. Now, there's one thing I want to mention to you guys, which was going back to some of the leaked stuff we saw in the past, right? So, as you probably well know, if I was to kind of work my way to a certain area, well, it turns out I was really wrong. That's right. So all of this here, I don't actually know what's going to happen. I'll say it right here, right now. I don't actually know what's going to happen with this. This is just the courtyard as it is. And we had a quick explore last time. There's nothing we need to show at the moment. It's just in the game, just to kind of be here. I guess they can work on it at a later date. But that screenshot we saw, which I thought was going to link to this, which had the metal gates and obviously the person stood in front of it. Yeah, that's a whole new area. And I have a feeling, because I've also had the heads up that this game is potentially safe from being taken down, that this could also have some new areas that we're going to get in the near future, which I'm really looking forward to. But right now, the courtyard is not what I said it was going to be. I've kind of put the 2 and 2 together, and it made 3 instead of 4, which means I was wrong. I say it now. I was wrong. They're going to develop something, and it's going to be absolutely awesome, no doubt. But for now, this is just the courtyard, and this is how it's going to stay. Now, obviously, we've had episode 1 released literally like yesterday. If you have any theories on what you think is going to happen, or again, with some of the points we made earlier with the clips of the actual episode, if you have anything that relates to that and maybe some answers or questions, please put them in the comments below, because I'd like to read them and see what your ideas are for it. But if not, well, I will hopefully see you in the next video. So if you'd like something, to hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!